All right, folks, better late than never. We are talking about quadratic formula for solving quadratics, and hopefully this is just a review for you guys, but when we have a quadratic that just won't factor, it's impossible to factor, we have a second mode of solving called the quadratic formula. And when you have your quadratic in standard form, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, ax squared plus bx plus c, then we can solve for our x by plugging into this sucker right here. So a lot of you guys have this memorized already. If I remember correctly, it's actually on your formula sheet as well, but you're going to do it enough that you probably will memorize it anyway without even wanting to. You're welcome. But the interesting point that I want to bring up is that the area under your radical, the b squared minus 4ac, this is an important part of the quadratic formula. It's called the discriminant. And the discriminant gives you important information about the number of solutions that you can get. So if your discriminant is equal to 0, then you're going to have only one solution, because whether you add or subtract 0, you will get the same answer. So you will only have one solution. If the discriminant is positive, you're going to get your two solutions. And again, remember when we are referring to solutions, we're talking about roots, x-intercepts, or zeros. They're all used interchangeably. We're looking for where our quadratic crosses the x-axis. And if your discriminant is negative, then there are no real solutions, because as of yet, we do not know how to take the square root of negative numbers. Okay, so since we are going to have this radical, let's take a moment to review how to simplify a radical. So simplifying radicals is really easy when we are taking the square root of a perfect square. So 100 is 10 squared, so the square root is simply 10. When we don't have a perfect square, what we want to do is write our number as a product of a perfect square and another number. And then anytime that we have a product, we can split it into two separate radicals. So we can call this 100 times 2, and we can take the square root of 100, which is how we get 10 on the outside. And since we cannot take the square root of 2, we don't get a whole number, then we leave that inside the radical. Same thing here, we want to rewrite 12 as the product of a perfect square and another factor, and really the biggest perfect square that we have. And so we get 2 squared times the square root of 3, which gives us 2 radical 3. If you get a number that doesn't have any perfect squares, then all you get is that number again. It's as simple as it can get. So if it doesn't have any perfect square factors, then it's already simplified. And let me know if you have any questions on that tomorrow in class, and I will see you guys soon.